Yes, welcome everybody. I'm Elijah Delsink. I am the chairman and founder of LBVSO, a national organization that fights for equal rights for special needs students in the Netherlands. LBVSO represents a wide group of students, including not only VSO students but also homebound students, practical education students, EVIO students, and adult education students, also students in residential institutions, and those transitioning from these target groups to a daytime activities, work, or further education in college, etc. Our involvement is therefore diverse and profound, and we always place the students and their specific needs at the center. We have a very large reach with individuals aged 5 to 27 coming to us. Often, there are children and young people with disabilities, additional support needs, neurodivergent individuals, and others requiring specific assistance. The data we have collected ensures that the interests of these students are not overlooked. Some of this data, of course, comes from Caroline over here, who we work very closely with, and who's kind of who together with WVSO is kind of like Bonnie and Clyde when it comes to the education front in the Netherlands. So I want to talk first about loneliness and insecurity among students with disabilities, the role of school architecture and specialization. Well, so we are here to discuss an urgent issue, the loneliness and sense of insecurity that students with disabilities, neurodiversity, including autism, experience at school. And this is a problem that is often overlooked. Schools typically focus on care and education, but they forget one essential aspect, the physical environment, which has a significant impact on students' mental well-being. These environments are not just bricks and walls. They determine how safe and seen we feel. Let me share my own story with you. As a student, I often felt lonely at school, even at a special needs school. The environment did not meet my needs. The classrooms in the school building itself were not designed with me in mind. There was a lack of specialization and understanding. I ended each day in what I called an outie flip, a moment of total overstimulation, hiding under a staircase in the main hall. In those moments, things happen in your mind that are hard to describe. All the alarm bells are going off. You can't think clearly anymore. Your breathing becomes heavy. Your heart races and you spiral into panic. That staircase, that small space underneath the stairs, was the only place at school where I found some protection and calm. But let's be honest, this was not a safe space. It was a makeshift solution. The most disturbing part was that I wasn't the only one. Soon, other students found this spot under the stairs, all lonely, damaged, and overwhelmed by a school environment that didn't fit with who they were. We formed an invisible group. And the result? We all became homebound students. This isn't just my story, it's a pattern. Schools meant to foster learning and growth become sources of stress, anxiety, and isolation. And why? Because the physical environment, the school building itself, along with a lack of appropriate specialization among staff, is not aligned with our needs. So, what does inclusivity actually mean? Everyone seems to define it differently, and that's dangerous because it means policymakers experiment with us. For many, inclusivity simply means placing all students in one building. But for children like me and thousands of others, that doesn't always work. Inclusion should be about equality, and equality means freedom of choice. Our own research from LBVSO, involving over 2,000 special needs students, shows that as many as 68% of these students want special schools to remain on separate sites. Why? Because they want the choice to determine where and how they receive their education. Inclusivity is not forcing everyone to do the same thing. It's recognizing that different students have different needs, and that sometimes separate environments work better. A school must be more than just a functional space. It must offer safety and connection. Here are some innovative solutions. Flexible modular classrooms, spaces that can be easily adapted to various learning needs, such as quiet work zones or group areas. Zones of attention with changing stimulation. Environments with adjustable lighting and sound so students can self-regulate and reduce stimuli. Accessible technology. Students can adjust their environment through apps or tablets, such as light and sound, giving them more control. Natural outdoor spaces. Direct access to quiet areas reduces stress and provides a calming environment for breaks and outdoor work. Safe routes through the building. Alternative, quiet paths to avoid crowded hallways and navigate to school easily. A bit of a funny story with my school with that. In my school, there was a stairwell like that, but it was the fire exit stairs, which not particularly the route that you want to go when you want to go somewhere quietly, just in case something happens. But that's just about the only quiet place I had to go in order to go to the second floor. Therapeutic spaces. Relaxation areas equipped with soothing music and weighted blankets, supervised by qualified therapists, and even other things like sound canceling headphones, etc. Multi-sensory learning environments. Learning spaces that engage multiple senses with interactive elements like touch, movement, and sound. Small community spaces. Intimate areas where students can practice social skills at their own pace in a calm environment. Low stimulus classrooms. Special classrooms with reduced stimuli for subjects like gym, drama, art, and music, ensuring all students can participate. And privacy pods. Secluded workstations for students who want to work in silence without any form of distraction. When these elements are lacking, not just all of these, but even one of these, it creates not only loneliness, but also a profound sense of insecurity. The consequence? An increasing number of homebound students who cannot function in an environment not tailored to them. These 10 small solutions, while there are many more, go beyond architecture. They create truly inclusive environments where students feel safe and supported. Let's no longer accept the situation as the norm. Let's not continue designing inclusive, wishful thinking schools and exclude students instead of supporting them. A truly inclusive school starts with a thoughtful physical space, a place where every student feels welcome, safe, and understood, where no one has to hide under a staircase to finally find a moment of peace. An inclusive school begins with equality, and equality means having the freedom to choose what works best for each student, whether that's inclusion or attending a special school at a separate location to avoid pressure and coercion. Let's build a future where we truly see students with disabilities, where they feel not only connected to their school, but also themselves.